Hey guys, I'm Mr. Kate. Welcome back to our channel. This is the video that I wish I had before we started all of our renovation projects. It is also answering one of our most asked questions, which is, how do I get started? Like, how do I just jump in to designing? So we're gonna do just that. We're gonna walk through all the tips, over 30 tips on how to design a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house. So let's do it. Knock, knock. I'm Mr. Kate.
Oh, you don't even need the introduction. You already know who this is.
I'm Mr. Kate. I'm here. I'll take a look at your place. I'll stop by for a while and help you find your style. We'll rock and we'll paint Mr. Kate. Oh, I'm Mr. Kate. Welcome. We have a door to open. Oh, it's a little small door.
A beautiful Dutch door.
We thought that the front door would be the perfect place to start talking about designing tips. This is the entrance to the home. What your front door looks like dictates the design for the rest of the space. So we just got these two. We're really excited about them.
There's a storm rolling in. These are solid wood doors. I gotta get these out of this crate ASAP.
Here we go. Actually, it's starting to rain. Hurry, hurry, hurry. It's raining. Go. Don't get fancy.
Exterior door.
Door
Day.
install day. You can see actually how tall I am next door. 7-foot door.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We're gonna test these stains on this side
Right.
because this is gonna be hidden anyways.
Yeah. This is a borate treatment
Okay.
that we'll put on the inside, because obviously we're staining and sealing the front, but like I don't want to leave this untreated wood for dinner for the termites.
Yeah.
So we can just coat that on before
So
we
that
install
you
it.
put on and it makes it unappetizing.
Yes, exactly. Nice and subtle.
Mm-hmm, it's pretty. This is the oak brown. As you saw, we sampled all the stains on the inside of this jam, so we were able to choose the stain on this actual wood. But we have some other tones of wood too, which is a really big thing to think about. What are your wood tones as part of your design?
All right, can I give a quick Dutch door design tip?
Sure,
If you're doing a
please.
Dutch door, you can just cut a Dutch door, right? Or this is called a rabbit cut. And see how it's 2 different levels? Why do you want that? So that when the door's together, the whole thing goes together.
Obviously living in the islands, you want the open, breezy feel, and this is a really great like breezeway that connects to the hallway. The flow of design is also the flow of the experience in the space beyond just what you're looking at.
Come on in. So much happening in
So
here.
much happening.
We
And
got floors, we got cabinets, we got beams.
we're in that stage that so many people encounter themselves in, where you move into a new place or you're renovating and you all of a sudden are in a white box. And you're like, wait, how do I make this look designed and pulled together? Like we mentioned, the door is a wood tone that is bringing us into the space. It even plays in the interior space when the door is open, which we're gonna be doing with that Dutch door. And we also are playing with a wood tone here on the floors and on the ceilings.
We're doing this luxury vinyl plank. This stuff has gotten really advanced. It's not gonna expand. It's got a really soft feel, it locks in, and it's got a really believable texture. Especially in this environment, like wood's just gonna be pretty temperamental with all the humidity. And it's very easy to install. You can do this yourself
It,
because
like,
just has
clicks in.
little click in. You use your hammer, get it in.
Vinyl flooring used to be so obviously vinyl. I've looked at a lot of wood floors, like this is so believably wood toned. The big key, if it is this type of flooring, you wanna make sure that you've got variety in your planks. Some of the planks will be the same picture, essentially, of the wood printed on it. So you wanna analyze all those planks and lay them out in a way where your eye isn't gonna catch that repetition. I'm really excited we're gonna have this type of floor. We're gonna have like wet, sandy kids running around. Let's talk about how this wood tone is playing with this wood tone. You may notice they're different. We went through a whole thing staining these faux beams. Yeah, the whole thing. We've gone in like a totally different direction in here. That beam needs to be like reddish brown. Now it's like a grayish driftwoody color.
Which looks great.
Looks great. Toning it down. Okay, I'm so happy with how these are turning out. So basically we did like a medium gray brown base. And now we're going over it with the same gray that we used on that beam, but like watered down, well not watered because it's oil-based, so thinned with like basically like a dry brush technique. What it's doing is it's basically acting like a highlight on all those raised areas and really looking like driftwood. Obviously, that beam is a different color than these, but that is purposeful. It's gonna bug some people, but I wanted it like that because I love the idea of these being inspired by driftwood. Any wood you pick up from the beach has that like grayed thing to it, right? The salt water does that. And that wood was so obviously a different texture than these woods, so I didn't want to try to like match them. Like this, just highlighting that gorgeous texture. So I am purposely mixing wood tones. I think it is a beautiful choice in design. It creates a complexity already in just your base materials. First of all, it's really hard to be super matchy-matchy. If you try to be matchy-matchy, you're gonna notice the subtle differences. So embrace your mixed wood tones. That's a big tip. So obviously the layout in here, we have our L-shaped kitchen that gives way to our beautiful statement island. And then this is our living area. We're gonna do sectional sofa. Keep the walls light and bright. I really like the natural light playing throughout here, but we're going to create some more design complexity and get some inspiration for our color palette with other natural materials we're bringing in, which is the countertop materials. If you are replacing your countertop, or you have a natural countertop material, get some inspiration from that. And then design-wise, we're going to bring in some other elements of color in our textiles, pillows, stuff like that, and also some artwork.
Another important thing obviously to think about with your design that we're factoring in is lighting. We're gonna be putting in some overhead recess, some overhead pendants, and some sconces.
I don't love recessed lights everywhere. I think it is the mark of like a quick fix thing in renovation. Here's the big tip for recessed lights. Where is it? Here it is. You want one that can swivel and create a wall wash. So that's what it's called. You want to wash your walls with light. See how the light in there, you can swivel it. It's just gonna create an ambiance.
Another cool thing about these newer lights is you can actually select your color temperature on the light, which really living rooms, hallways, bedrooms, you never want to really go above 3000 Kelvin.
You want that warm light, not too yellow, but also not white. Speaking of lighting as well, we're doing sconces in here. I love sconces because to me it's a twofer. You get lighting and an art moment. I actually want to DIY some for in here, or maybe get some cheap ones and like spruce them up, and pendant light over the island.
The other quick tip is as you're installing electrical is deciding where your 3-way and 4-way switches are. For example, you can turn on all the lights in here when you walk in that door, but you can also turn them all on when you walk in that door. In this case, we're doing a 4-way. You can also control them in the hallway.
And dimmers, we're doing dimmers everywhere so that you can control the brightness too. Since we renovated this space, we did plan around a floor plan. So we planned obviously around the floor plan of the kitchen and then also the seating potential in here. We only have an island and a sofa in here. We have the eating area actually out on the front lanai, which we purposely did because we wanted this to be a loungy living room and a gathering kitchen. So make your priority list in terms of what you want for the functionality of the space, and then do your floor plan. All
right, so this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. We have a lot to go over, so let's just move through the house.
Yeah.
One big tip, hallways, at least 36 inches.
The hallways used to be so small in here, and now they're wide.
Another big tip, 7-foot doors. spend the extra money to get the extra inches, and that really dramatically changes the perception of everything when the doors are higher.
Yeah, it just is such a much more elevated look. This is our small
guest room / office.
We decided to make this room the smallest because we wanted to use the space that was the closet for this room before as part of the living room in there.
We also have the perfect piece coming out in our line that we're gonna use in here, which is our new Mr. Kate wall bed.
Yes, the wall bed has the bed in the center, and then the two side pieces are wardrobes. So we're gonna be able to still provide that storage for anyone staying in this room, but then use it as an office. We planned this layout to have a desk here, and we did that by placing also this really fun vertical window here. Having this height of window where you can really see the ground outside makes this room feel bigger. It almost has the effect of like a doorway to the outside. I have another thing that is an awesome tip for small spaces in my opinion. It's going bold. I think we should try this wallpaper in here. This is one of our newest wallpapers. Like literally this is the sample.
Ooh, look at that. So this is obviously not the scale of it. It's actually gonna be on the entire wall because it's a mural.
Because this room, we have the entire wall on that side being taken up by the wall bed. We don't have like that much wall for this side. So you can make a bold choice in a small room. I think it just creates such a magical feel.
So the tip for this is small space and sort of miscellaneous rooms, have fun, go big.
Yeah, if you feel safer making a bold design choice in a smaller, maybe lesser used room, take those choices and kind of make them a little more gentle than in your other spaces. I'm gonna make sure to incorporate a lot of greens in that space, but in a more gentle way, so that walking into this room, it's not gonna be like, ah! You'll also see when we move into the bathroom that the tone of this green is similar to the tone of the blue paint that we chose. We also have the lighting that just came in for this room. Joey has not seen this.
What the? That's going on the ceiling?
No, it's a wall light.
So this is a plug-in wall space.
So it's a plug-in wall light and the bulb hangs like this. So here's the tip, okay? Sometimes you need that spark of inspiration.
That's cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm thinking of it over here. Our
Yeah, it
desk
goes with the
lamp.
wallpaper.
So this was my spark of inspiration. I was looking for lighting. I was looking for obviously more basic lights and things like that. And that came up and I was like, that is so wonderfully weird. And then I was like, oh my gosh, we have that amazing mural that's coming out. Like it's just going to create so much fun in this space. And I think that you come to the island, especially this being where we're welcoming guests, like we want these rooms to be fun. We want them to be an experience. So this one's gonna be
Good
an
fun.
experience. Small and bold.
Just like you.
Going out. Like cute legs.
So this is what we're calling like the middle bathroom. This one will act as like the powder room for the kitchen living room and also be the bathroom like for shower tub for anyone staying in the small bedroom. We got the pocket door here too, which is just so great for the flow of this space. We don't have a door opening into the vanity or into the shower. If you want to go bold, do it in a small space. I love doing a dark color in a small room. A lot of times people are like, no, small room, you want to make it feel bigger by doing a lighter color. But no, I'm telling you, there's something kind of cocoon-like, very dramatic about going bold in a small space. So as you can see, we went with this gorgeous bluey gray. Really gonna highlight obviously this light tile plus any of the fixtures we put in here. Another tip for you guys, paint the ceiling. When you're making a bold statement like this, especially in a smaller room, it just creates a unity and a flow. It feels just much more elevated. Also, we've got some salvaged, thrifted options in here. Great way to save money. So obviously we salvaged this tile. I love how it turned out. And we have our amazing baker's table. Literally found it on Marketplace. It's gonna be just so cool with the vessel sink once we put it in. We've got the wall mounted faucets for it too. The other thing we're gonna talk about tips wise is bathroom storage. We're gonna kind of have to go into the drawers of this piece to run the plumbing. So that might make the drawers either smaller or totally inoperable. In that case, you gotta plan for storage elsewhere. So we've got this little nook here. We're gonna do some really deep cabinet with a little countertop and then more shallow cabinets on top. So it's a guest bathroom. It's not really meant for a ton of deep storage for the guests. They can just kind of have little places. Maybe they'll do a little shelf on the side to store some minimal cosmetics, but for like the toilet paper and all that stuff, boom. Think about your niches in bathrooms, really important. So we don't have a big lip on the side of this tub. So for your shampoo bottles and your soap and all of that, if you are renovating, plan for the niche, plan for where you want it. Moving on. The bedroom, this is the primary bedroom. Okay, so the biggest bedroom of the two.
Still petite, but.
Petite, big enough to fit a king bed. So because we renovated a little bit, like we added the sliding door and we replaced the windows, we were able to design the room around the bed placement.
We wanted to make sure we had some light coming in on this side, but we purposely did a higher window so we can get a higher, more glorious headboard.
Yes, we have a really cool, tall, holstered wingback headboard planned for here. And also the lighting we planned for the bed as well. So a lot of times with bedrooms, you only have the bed, a dresser, and side tables. Like those are your only furniture pieces in the space. So you wanna make sure that they're all glorious choices, and having these sconces is just gonna give it that much more of an established look. We don't have any recessed lights in here on purpose. I really don't like recessed lights in a bedroom. I don't like glaring overhead light. Everything has to be on a dimmer.
The other cool thing with the lighting in here, obviously, is that we were able to put in switches for the individual sconces. So that way, when you're in bed, if she's sleeping, I can flip this on and read my book, whatever.
We want this space to be serene. This is like, you know, where we're gonna be welcoming friends and family. I love the light walls in here, actually, the way it plays with all the natural light. So I'm gonna keep the color palette light. But another thing a lot of people don't talk about, there's a color palette, but there's also a texture palette. So in a bedroom, you can really play that up because you have so many opportunities with the bedding, with maybe some wood side tables. All those are gonna really come into play.
All right, tip right off the bat. Bathrooms are usually small spaces. We decided to go with pocket doors because it just saves you a lot of real estate. You don't have to deal with the swing of the door into either space.
It really allows this to feel like it's en suite, meaning like really part of this room. Having the pocket door be able to just be open most of the time and not having a door infringing in any room just makes the flow feel better. The tip to impart to you guys is thinking about the experience that you want to have or you want your guests to have in a bathroom. We wanted the experience for people to enjoy this island environment, listening to the birds, feeling the breeze while you shower, being able to look at the plants.
I think that people usually sort of think of their bathrooms last. I think you should think of your bathrooms first because you spend a lot of time in the bathroom, your guests do, and what do? You sit down on the toilet and you look at the room. And so you really do.
Phone.
You really want to make the room so great that you don't even want to look at your phone.
That it's an experience. We've got this gorgeous vanity that we planned with the double sinks and the double mirrors, and we're pretty much DIYing this because we're making a countertop that we're then going to sit the vessel sinks on, and then we're going to do a live edge kind of wood shelf underneath. And then
we added this sort of privacy wall. So that way you at least are like doing your business in sort of a nook.
Yeah.
Which we're putting recessed lighting in the nook.
Yes, but the recessed lighting is going to be a wall washing light, and we're gonna position it to wash the back wall of the toilet. So you're not sitting on the toilet with a spotlight on you.
The other thing we did in here obviously is another highly placed window so that you get the natural light, you see the trees when you walk in.
The lighting in here is gonna be really important. We have this overhead fixture opportunity as well as something to be a statement between the two mirrors.
And the last thing in here is the flooring. We're using a beautiful luxury vinyl plank that's perfect for wet spaces so we can transition seamlessly from the living room and bedrooms into the bathrooms. If you can design with keeping in mind of how few transitions can I have, the more elevated your design's gonna look.
Flow, baby, flow. Okay, let's flow out of here. This is the laundry room. It is a really good sized laundry room. Obviously, when you're designing a laundry room, you wanna think about functionality first. We will add some design elements with the finishing material, cabinetry, countertops, some artwork, some lighting. In a small house like this, it functions as kind of a mudroom too. You can store tools and supplies and things like that. We're going to have a swap sink over there, a laundry sink. Having a sink in the laundry room is game changing. So that's gonna be next to a side-by-side washer dryer, which when possible, we like to do side-by-side because then you have the opportunity for a countertop. And then we're gonna do some kind of storage cabinets up above.
We're doing skylights too, so
Yeah.
we haven't cut them into the drywall yet, but it exists above the drywall. All right, that's it.
We did it! That's so many tips for you guys. Hopefully that was helpful. We're gonna be taking our own advice and actually pulling this piece together. So
Time
stay
to
tuned.
decorate.
It's time to decorate.
Get excited.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.